Good morning, Diamonds of the Earth. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Bridgerton again, but this time we're not going to be talking about any of the other stuff I've already spoken of. I wanted to make a specific video or a specific ramble video for Benedict, because one thing I realized with this season is that he is an artist that has lost his way. And what I mean by that is that he had the passion for artistic expression earlier on in the show. Definitely season 1. Season 2 is when you find out that, at the end of season 2, is when you find out that Anthony paid for his position. And the thing with this show is that they never went back to that conversation, which I'm assuming they're going to get to in the next season, because I'm hearing the next season is going to be his story. But in this season, you don't hear anything about that discussion between him and Anthony, about Anthony paying for his position at an institution through charity. So from there, we kind of get this new Benedict, not new, but we get this version of Benedict where he is just spending his time sleeping around. There's real no purpose in the things that he's doing. And I will say that from that standpoint, it's relatable. It can be very relatable. I think for people who have artistic passions and express themselves creatively, for those who had to give up those creative forms of expression because of circumstances, it can be hard when you have that passion. You have to give it up to the point where you will start drifting. You're just drifting from project to project. You're trying to figure out like what works, but like a part of you feels missing. And I feel like that's kind of what they're getting at with his story, is that the fact that he's not creating is causing him a lot of internal turmoil that he's trying to mask with his sexual exploration. Now, I'm not going to say that this is not who he is, because even in the earlier seasons with him exploring his creativity and exploring all of that, he went to that house that he was having a lot of fun with other people, and that's where he met Genevieve and stuff. So from there, just a whole thing of how creative expression really helps to develop you as an individual, and it helps you to understand who you are and how you react with the things happening around you. But then when you feel like that ultimately is taken from you, for him, it was that he applied for a university and he couldn't even get in through his own means. His brother was the one that paid for him to get in under the guise of charity. But his brother pretty much gave him an in to the school without him having to do the work for himself. Now he's feeling that his abilities isn't worth it. His abilities is not good enough for him to get into it by himself. So he's not going to be trying to get in anymore, because if I don't have the ability to do it, then what's the point of trying? So I feel like this season was his way of trying to explore. He's drifting. I feel like that's what this is. For myself, I feel like that's happened with me when I got into university, and I initially went in for one thing. I didn't end up getting for that one thing, so I had to like pivot and find something else to do. And although I enjoy it, I don't have that internal joy like I do when it comes to other forms of expression. For me, it's music. I love music. Music has always been me. I've never been the type of person to like create songs and stuff. I've tried and failed, but I've tried. And music creation was never a thing for me. I was never really good at it. However, me analyzing harmony and really taking in the harmony and like trying to recreate harmonies, I love harmony. Harmony is like the best thing that God has ever given his people. Harmony is the best thing, in my opinion. but that's where my love is. So when I went for school, I initially wanted to go for classical music. I didn't achieve that goal, so I pivoted to theater, which is also something I do enjoy. I do really enjoy theater as well. So just that, I understand it from that perspective of having to figure out the next step after the thing that you really wanted to do, you weren't able to get in through your own merit. So having to figure out another avenue, another pathway for yourself. And that's what I feel like I'm trying to do right now. So I feel like I can relate a lot to his character because his character is very much an artistic character who is trying to find his way. And I feel like for me as a creative, I'm a creative person who loves music, who loves art, who loves anything, any form of expression that's creative. I love it. And I am trying to navigate my way back into the older things that I've loved before. So, with that in mind, this is going to be a pivot into more utilizations of music and all that stuff on this channel. I want to start getting deeper into my interests. It's still creative. We're keeping it creative. I don't want to be stuck to one specific form of creativity. I don't think that's realistic, especially with people with multi passions. That's not really realistic. I think I'm someone that has multi talent. I'm multi talented, I believe, when it comes to various forms of artistic expressions. However, my main, I think, passion is music. So, what we're gonna be doing, or what the hope is, I'm gonna put a stamp on it. So it's not a yes. It's not entirely a yes. It's not entirely a no. It's kind of like a maybe of how things are going to go for the rest of the life of this channel, how things are going to maybe switch up a little. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, Benedict's story, I think, really put that put that in my mind, the perspective in my mind of how things can really be difficult for artists who have to give up their artistic talents and artistic avenues because we are needing to pivot into other things just because life happens. So yeah, that's my thoughts on his character. That's my reflections, my personal reflections on his character and his overall arc. I am very excited to see how his season's gonna go next season. I think of all the characters, Benedict's funny. I like him. He's a very funny guy. For like for the men's side, I like Benedict because I feel like he's more relatable. For the women's side, I'm still trying to figure it out. I love Kate as like an older sister type of thing. I don't have an older sister. I'm an only child. But Kate's character is more so like a older sister vibe, which I kind of like. But for all the characters in the show, for older women, I am definitely stuck between Lady Danbury and Queen Charlotte. No, I lied. I'm stuck between three. Lady Danbury, Queen Charlotte, and Portia Featherington. Portia, I know a lot of people might hate her, but honestly, as a mother, that woman's a mother. That woman is a mother. She doesn't have the best ways of conducting things. Like, she doesn't have the best way of getting things across. But boy, when I tell you, that mother, she knows how to take care of her kids. She looks out for her kids. So for her, I'll say that. Lady Danbury and Charlotte, Queen Charlotte, I think for both of them, it's not mainly like they're not good mothers, but I would say that I love the Queen Charlotte because of just her spunk. She's very spunky. She's a very spunky character and I love it. And then for Lady Danbury is very calculated. Both of them are. Honestly, Queen Charlotte is very calculated too, but I feel like because Lady Danbury is older, she has more experiences. So she's more calculated in a sense compared to Queen Charlotte, especially because she was like a mother to Queen Charlotte in in the show, even though, they consider each other friends, but like she was more motherly because she experienced more life. Even though they might have been around the same age. Probably I think she would have been older, but still like they both experienced life. She experienced life. And in her experiencing life so young, she had more experiences. So she was able to help teach Charlotte of the things that she needed to know. I would say that those two, if they're not friends, they're very close acquaintances. if that would be the case. But still. But yeah, for the older women, it's those three, I would say. And for the younger ones, who can I relate? I don't know. I want to see Eloise. I want to see how her character develops. I like Francesca because she's quiet. I love Hyacinth because she's bubbly and she's a kid. So I love her because of how like happy she is. But I think of all the characters, I want to see I want to see Eloise develop. Right now, I'm not really pleased, but I think just like anybody, you're not gonna like how everyone turns out. But for Eloise, for her, I want her to start acknowledging the blessings that she was born with and understand that not everyone has the same blessings as she does. So for her, she had a family that was very supportive, but at the same time, she wasn't aware of when her father died. I don't think she was one of them that would have known. So, or like really understood the gravity of the situation when her father died. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, I want to see her development as a character, especially. I think she's probably gonna be like one of the last ones, if not. I don't think she's gonna be the last though. I want to see how Violet Bridgerton ends up as well. But for Eloise, I want to see her character develop. I want her to see more of a true woman's woman and not just this childlike image of a woman's woman. Like I want her to understand that just because you have your blessings, it doesn't mean that everyone is going to see the things the same way because of your blessings. Right? So if I wasn't born with your blessings, I'm not going to see things the same way. So as that, you need to learn empathy. You need to put yourself in other people's shoes and you need to be able to navigate the world in their shoes. Understand how they would go day to day, and then from there, then you're able to really um just have a true conversation with them and stuff. I feel like I've been talking a lot again, so I'm gonna cut it off there. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, my loves.